was in your backyard where your dog was playing, invited over by your son, who's a couple of years older. How old are you?
8.
Step next to your mother. I have a few questions for you. Tell me your name.
My name's Cody.
Cody. Do you know this little boy's name? What's your name?
Aiden Moore. He does.
Aiden Moore.
That was my daycare.
Okay. Is he your neighbor?
Yes.
Remember that day when your dog got injured? Say yes. You remember? You have to answer my questions. Were you playing in the backyard?
Yes.
Did you invite him to come over in your backyard?
No.
Did you offer him a lollipop?
Yes, but I put it through the fence.
Did you offer him a lollipop?
Yes.
And did he take the lollipop?
Yes.
Did he come around in your backyard?
No.
He was never in your backyard?
Yes, but
How did he get there?
climbed the fence.
And what happened when he got there?
We shook him up a little, then he picked his muffin, threw him up the air,
What did you say to him when he did that?
nothing.
What did you do?
I picked up Gizmo.
And where did he go?
My mom told him to go back home.
And he did. And you took your dog Gizmo to the doctor?
Correct.
And he had a broken leg?
Mhm.
Right. And you want Miss Moore to pay for the vet bills?
Correct.
I'm listening.
I did not become aware of the situation until she had come over to my house to let me know what was going on. I talked to my son, and he said that her son told him that if he'd climb the fence, that he would give him a sucker and they could play.
So he's over in the backyard.
And
Okay.
my son did say that he picked up the dog, that her son asked him to put the dog down, and my son did that. However, he did not throw her dog.
Well, how do you think the leg got broken?
I believe that he did drop her dog. A dog that weighs 4 pounds has a leg like a toothpick, so I'm sure it did break. That's,
Okay.
I believe that.
So either way, whether he dropped him or threw him,
I offered to pay the bills. I gave her my cell phone number. I asked her to please call me when the dog was done so that I knew what was going on. She's my new neighbor. I just moved in.
so what was the problem?
The problem started when she tried to press criminal charges on my child.
No,
And that's actually in the police report that I have with me. She had told the police a completely fabricated story. The police
Well,
came-
what did you do after the dog? You took the dog to the vet.
After I picked the dog up, went in the house, and immediately went over to her house. My husband held the dog for me. I went over to her house and explained to her what had happened. She told me that's not possible. Her son was in his bedroom, and that is not true. He was just in my backyard, and I told him to go home.
Okay, well, maybe she didn't know that.
We went into the backyard. He wasn't in there, so he was in the garage. And she asked him, and he said yes, he did pick the dog up and drop the dog.
Okay.
And I told her, I said, you're going to be responsible for these vet bills. I said, I don't have the money. She looked at me and said, well, I'm a single mom, so maybe it's best to put the dog to sleep and I will buy you a new one. I immediately looked at her and said, that's not how this works. This is my dog. I mean, he's my baby. I'm not going to put him to sleep.
Did you go over there, Miss Crowther, angry?
No, I did not raise my voice at her.
You don't have to raise your voice.
I was upset. I was bawling. I was upset.
Okay. I mean, I can imagine that you were upset, and I can imagine that you were not calm when you spoke to her. You may not have been screaming at her. You may not have been cursing at her. I don't know. But I assumed, based upon just the way you phrased it to me today, that you did not go over there in a neighborly-like way.
Right.
Well, that was wrong. This is not something that's done maliciously.
Right.
So then you should have taken it down a notch. Right?
Right.
You owe her an apology.
I'm sorry if I upset you.
You should have taken it down a notch. She didn't do anything.
Right. I didn't become enraged until she told me to put my
just
dog
a sec.
to sleep.
Enraged is a relative term. If you went over there and said, gee, that was just a real bad accident, I think that your little boy was responsible for my dog's broken leg. You know, I'm going to take the dog to the vet. You know, we're going to be able to handle this. That's one way of putting it. Another way of putting it is to go over there with screaming ninnies on, you know, because your dog is injured. I got it. But I think, at least with her, you overreacted. She said she'd pay the vet bill. What's the vet
Well,
bill?
the problem
She
is
said she'd pay the vet bill. What's the vet bill?
$364.25.
That's a hefty bill for her to pay,
Right.
but if she said she would pay it, it's her responsibility and she's going to take care of it. Did you call the police?
Yes.
Why?
Because I was informed that I had to have a police case number in order to file a civil claim in court.
Well, I don't know who's giving you legal advice. Certainly not any reputable person I know. You don't need a police report in order to file a small claims case.
I don't understand if I said I would pay it, why she would have to file a small claim. Casey.
I have
when-
no idea. I have no idea.
She was only going to pay the initial bill. She told me she would not pay to have the cast removed. She flat told me, I'm only going to pay the $299. And I says, what about the remaining cost? She told me, too bad, I've talked to an attorney and you're not getting any more than that.
Actually, she told me she wanted to take her dog to the vet weekly for the next 6 months,
The-
and she wanted me to pay for that.
The vet required that he come in every week to have the cast looked at so that it didn't get infected or anything
Whatever,
happen.
the whole bill was $364.25. Judgment for the plaintiff, $364.25. When you have a new neighbor, you try to handle things reasonably. She seems like a nice lady. Now you're at odds with each other and you share a backyard. That's terrible. And you have two kids who probably play very nicely together. You know, they're two nice little boys. See if you can go have a cup of coffee together. It would probably be a very good idea. You're going to live there for a long time?
Plan to.
All right, so we got off to a bad start. See if you can make it better.
Okay.
You'll be happier. That's all.
Thank you.
Sarah Ali says she was punched in the face at Dan Dugan's nightclub. Sarah says the culprit was one of Dan's bouncers.
Miss Ali, it is your claim that you and a boyfriend were at defendant's club and you were, without provocation, assaulted by an employee of his. And the defendant's position is that you were intoxicated and that any injuries that you sustained as a result of your own intoxication. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. When,
On May 9th of this year,
how old are you?
I'm 21.
And what do you do?
I go to school and I do customer service.
What school do you go to?
OSU,
What is
Ohio State,
you a full-time student?
part-time,
And you work part-time or full-time?
part-time.
Who's your boyfriend? Is he here?
He's right there.
How old is he?
He's 22.
Does he go to school also?
Yes,
Now, on the 9th of May, who were you at this club with?
I was with him, with
Just the
my
two of you?
boyfriend. Just two of us.
Had you been to this club before?
I've been there once before.
What time did you arrive there?
I arrived there about 11:40.
Where had you been before that evening?
Before that evening, I've been to the movies.
With your boyfriend?
Yes,
And from the movies, you went to the club?
yes.
Tell me what happened.
Okay. At the time when we got there, we were just having fun, just around there, and then it got about 2 o'clock. It was time for everybody to go home, and we were about to leave. And then one of the security guards, he was gonna open the back door for us to leave, and all of a sudden, I heard another security guard yelling behind us. He came and he said, "I know you two heard me calling you back there. Why are you ignoring me?" And my boyfriend nicely said that, "I'm sorry we didn't hear you, but we are leaving right now." And then he said, "No, you can't go because I know you were ignoring me and you need to tell me why you were ignoring me." And then he grabbed my arm. And when he grabbed my arm, I yanked my arm off him and told him, "Please don't ever touch me again." And as soon as I said that, he must have got mad and he grabbed both of us and just pushed us against the wall real hard.
Don't say anything.
When he pushes against the wall real hard, like it hurt my back. And then all of a sudden it happened so fast that he hit me and I must have dropped because I don't remember exactly what happened. I heard noises, but I couldn't see. I remember my boyfriend grabbing me. When he grabbed me, we were pushed out from the back door. And then we heard all noises and I heard my boyfriend call the police and the ambulance for me. And then when the cops arrived, he asked us what happened. And when my boyfriend
Can I
tried,
see the police report?
sure.
Is the security guard still in your employ?
No, ma'am, he's not.
What's his name?
I know him as Big Ant.
Big Ant?
Yes.
How long did he work for you?
It's perhaps a year or so.
Well, Mr. Dugan, you pay your employees on the books?
Sometimes.
Did you pay Big Ant on the books or off the books? Look at me.
Yes, ma'am.
On the books or off the
He
books?
was paid cash at the end of every night. I do not know if he reported it.
I'm just asking you because if you paid him on the books, they have to have a name other than Big Ant.
Yes, ma'am.
You thought this was going to be easy?
No, ma'am.
It's not going to be easy
Yes, ma'am.
because you weren't there that night
No, I wasn't.
and you don't know what happened. Hopefully,
I was home with my pregnant wife, who was 2 weeks away from giving birth, ma'am.
listen, they're good for you.
Thank you.
And I hope everything turned out okay. But right now you have this gentleman who I assume wants to tell me what he saw because he was there that night. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You'll be up there in a second. I want you to make sure you got it all straight in your head. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any other reports that you have?
No, ma'am. I have some pictures of the incident that
I would like to
hit
see
my
them.
eye.
You were treated at the hospital for
For my eye.
eye. You had a laceration under your eye, according to the police. Somebody socked you in the eye.
Right.
Is that the only injury that you sustained?
Yes.
Jones.
On what date did Big Ant terminate your employee?
As of that night, not heard from him since.
When you say as of that night, is that because he didn't return to work on the 10th? Or because you told him not to return to work on the 10th?
He left before the police arrived, or when the police arrived.
And you know that from this gentleman?
He and other employees.
Why did Big Ant take off?
Have no idea, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Jones, how long have you been in Mr. Dugan's employ?
On and off for about 5 years.
In what capacity?
I work with the bands that work there on a particular night, specifically Sunday nights.
What do you mean you work with the bands?
I'm also a member of the band also.
How many hours were you working that night?
I usually arrive at the club early, about 8 o'clock, and then the band usually starts performing anywhere between 10:30 and 11 o'clock at night.
When you're playing with the band, do you have any alcohol?
No, I don't drink at all.
Tell me what you observed on the 9th of May.
At around 2:15, between 2:15 and 2:30, we asked that security start having people leave the bar because by law, everybody has to be out of the bar by 2:30. Also, what happens is the bar staff will not count any money till all the patrons are out of the bar. Well, they were walking the other direction,
They were walking in what direction?
toward the side door, which is basically like an emergency exit. Big Ant is telling them, hey, you got to go out. We have to leave now. You have to go this way. Well, he said it 5 or 6 times. By the time he gets up to them, they get together. Some words were exchanged. I don't know exactly what was said, but all I know is I seen a hand come up, which looked like a female hand. He was scratched, and there was a ruckus in between her and her boyfriend and Big Ant. And it wasn't a punch. It was more or less like an open hand smack like that. But he's a big guy, so it may have caused some damage. But it looked like she attacked him first.
Well,
That's a lie.
That's
you
not
didn't,
true.
you, but, shh, Mr. Jones, you didn't actually see that.
Yes, I did. From where I was standing, what I could see, yeah.
Where you were standing, what you could see. Now, you're equivocating. The one thing you didn't equivocate about was you saw Big Ant hit her. It looked like with an open hand somewhere around her face. That you said you saw.
Yes.
Well, an open hand doesn't cause this kind of damage. Okay, let's go back to what you saw at the beginning. You said that you saw what appeared to be a female hand. Is that what you told me?
Yeah, going up like this, coming down at him.
Well, how many females were standing there, Mr. Jones?
It was only one.
So describe what a female hand looks like, Mr. Jones.
Well, I mean, the female hand is not nearly as big as a man's hand in most cases, is what I think. I could
So
be wrong.
there were 3 people there.
Right,
Is that right? Big Ant, this young lady, and her boyfriend.
right.
So when you say to me, I saw what appeared to be a female hand, of necessity, it would have to be the plaintiff, unless her boyfriend has feminine hands. Is that right, Mr. Jones?
Could be, could not be.
Well, I mean, by a process of elimination, if there are 3 people standing there, unless according to you, Big Ant scratched himself, sir, it would have to be one of the other 2 people,
Right,
right?
yes.
I'm having too much fun. Now, did you wait around for the police to arrive, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I was still there.
Did you observe the ambulance?
I seen the ambulance pull up, yes.
So you knew that the police were treating this as a serious incident.
Yes.
Is that right?
Well, if they were called, yes.
And if they were treating this as a serious incident, clearly they were treating this young lady as the victim.
Right.
And certainly, based upon what you told me, you observed that this young lady was the aggressor in this incident. Is that right?
Yes, they both were.
No, you didn't say both. I said who was the aggressor. Based upon what you told me, she was the aggressor. Is that right? And you would want to be a good citizen. You are a good citizen, aren't you, Mr. Jones?
Yes, Your Honor.
Could you explain to me how the police report is silent with regard to your statement to the police that she was the aggressor and scratched him?
No policeman ever came and talked to me.
Well, do you think that the police have some sort of crystal ball? If you have information that this employee of the club that you know for a year was the real victim, and there were a lot of people there, You think it's a good idea to go up to the police and say, listen, I saw the whole thing. She scratched him first. Look at his face. Well, the police report doesn't say anything about Big Ant having any scratches on his face.
Well, he wasn't there to make a report.
Even more of a reason for someone who witnessed the whole process to go up to the police and say, listen, the guy took off, but he was really not responsible. She was responsible. She assaulted him. Isn't that right, Mr. Jones?
Yeah.
Sit down.
Can I make one statement?
Anything else you want to say to me, Mr. Dugan?
I don't think so.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff is not requested $3,000. That's all.
Adam Johnson versus View. Step forward.
Chad Johnson is suing his former friend, 21-year-old Casey View, for loans to get his car out of impound and to have it repaired.
Who is this person?
This is my sister.
Is she a witness to these
She is.
proceedings? Did she know she was coming to court today?
She knows.
Where's the rest of her outfit?
That was the most professional clothing she could find, I guess.
You don't have a pair of long pants?
I do, but I assume this is appropriate since it's sold in stores.
Since it's what?
Sell in stores.
Sold in like business apparel stores.
Yes,
is what
business
she
apparel.
knows.
Different kind of business, I guess.
Do you go to church?
No, I'm a Christian.
Did you ever go to church?
Yeah.
Did you ever go to church?
Yes, I did.
Would you wear that outfit to church?
No, I wouldn't.
No. Yeah, I just want to know where your head was at. Yeah. You claim you loaned him some money twice. He was a friend of yours. He says that on one occasion there was no money exchanged, even though you had contemplated it because he needed some money to get his car out of impound. He says that he never received the money. And the second loan, which was a small one to fix a fuel pump on his car, he paid you by letting you have his computer. Do I have that right?
That's correct.
What is your sister a witness to?
She's the one who loaned me the $200.
Does she have bank statements to show me that?
She does not have a bank account. She just cashes her check.
I'm hungry. You have 2 minutes.
Okay, well, I do have a bank statement.
Just tell me what the money was for. He was your friend. Let's go. When was it?
Okay, it was on 5/7. I pulled out $200 from my account to loan him to get his car out of impound.
Go ahead.
And a few weeks after that,
Did you give it to him?
the money, I didn't personally hand it to him. I left it on some DVDs because I had to go to work that day.
No,
And
he
he
left
came
it on
over.
Shh. Hey,
I
you left it on top of DVDs where?
right by my front entrance of the door. I put it actually under a case. I have a DVD booklet. I put $200 underneath the DVD booklet and left my door unlocked. And I said, "It's
Great. It's gone.
right."
He never got it. Next.
And then a few weeks later, he called me up saying this car wouldn't start. So I went over and looked at it, and I didn't have the proper tools. So I said, well, I'll use my AAA to get the car towed to my house so I could take it.
Well, can you use your AAA in order to have somebody else's car towed?
Well, I didn't charge him labor.
No. I'll ask you a question. You have AAA. Are you allowed to use your AAA to get a friend's car towed?
Yes, you are.
You are.
Yes.
Why would anybody? One person in the United States should have AAA, and everybody else should use it. Okay. So you used your AAA to get his car towed to your house.
Correct.
And
And I diagnosed it and found out that the fuel pump was no longer working. And I said, I will do the work for you. I won't charge you any labor, but you have to buy the part. And he agreed to that. So
now,
2 days.
had you had a discussion about the previous money that you allege you loaned to him?
Yes.
Because at that time, he had already, according to you, taken it for $200, and now
Right.
it's $200 plus
Right.
parts.
What happened was, he hasn't paid. He didn't pay me back yet. When car repair had, and I said, originally I had said that.
Just a sec. Do you see what happens, sir, when you're trying to fun with me? You get to trip over your tongue. I actually do enjoy watching it.
Oh, yeah.
Every once in a while, it's part of the pleasure of my business. Let's start again.
Okay.
He hadn't given you the money back that you had previously, according to you, loaned to him.
Correct.
Now you're going to advance him money. You used your AAA, you got the car towed to your house, and the car needed a fuel pump, and you were going to advance him the money for the fuel pump, despite the fact that he had not paid you back an initial $200 loan. So far, is that correct?
That is
Now
correct.
you're going to
Yes.
explain to me why with trying not to trip over your tongue.
Okay, there's a very good reason for that. He was telling me that he was at risk of losing his job because he could not get to work because he did not have a car. So if he lost his job, he would not be able to pay me back. So I made the proposal. I said, tell you what, you give me $50 out of every paycheck. I will go get the part and I will put it in your car and then you can get to work. So that's what I did. He agreed to that, to those terms.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a technician. That's what I do.
What kind of technician?
I'm automated conveyor systems.
Who do you work for?
Super value.
How long?
I've been there for 5 years.
What do you do for a living, Mr. View?
I am a customer service manager at Walmart.
How long have you worked for them?
About 7 months.
When did the plaintiff put a fuel pump in your car?
I would say May.
May of 2010.
Yep, around my birthdays.
Yep is not an answer.
Yes. Your
Yes
Honor.
is an answer. Yep goes with that outfit.
The 200 he says he loaned me
Get the 200. He left the door unlocked. Somebody else took it. What's next?
for the fuel pump. It's true, he did fix my car and tow it with his AAA, but our agreement was that he would take my laptop as collateral, which he did. And then about a month later, there was a guy coming into town for Pride, which was Gay Pride we were having, which was apparently his crush. And he told me not to talk to the guy. And I went over to the guy to talk to him, which upset him. So he decides to ask for his money back.
Just a second. Where's your computer?
He has my computer. I gave
Your
it to him.
laptop?
Yep, my laptop.
Do you have his laptop?
I do not have his
Yep, yep,
laptop.
yep.
He told me
Look
it
over
was
there.
stolen. He told me it was stolen.
If it was
I
stolen,
do not
I would
have
have
his
filed a
laptop.
police report.
Just a second. Did he give you his laptop?
He did not give me his laptop.
Did you ever have possession of his laptop?
I never had possession of his laptop.
Well, what's the story about the laptop?
He asked if he could use the laptop as collateral to do the fuel pump. I said, yes, you can. But supposedly, a few days later, his laptop got stolen.
If it was
And-
stolen, I would have filed a police report.
And it was a $200 laptop. I don't think you can file a police report for something that small.
Don't answer him. I want to see the bill for the fuel pump.
Sure. I have that right here.
Fuel pump was $269.
Yes.
When did he put the fuel pump in your car?
It took him like
When?
2 weeks. I'm not sure. May?
You owe him $269.24 for the fuel pump.
Why do I owe him? The only reason why he's doing this is because I wouldn't sleep with him.
I don't care.
I have papers saying that he would take the laptop
Listen.
and the original receipt.
Listen to me, my friend. You owe him $269 for the fuel pump. Is that car still working?
It is. He has my laptop, like I,
I
said.
don't believe it.
Well, it
I
says
don't
on paper
believe it.
that he's willing to accept my laptop.
Just a second. When you give somebody collateral, that doesn't mean that you've paid for it.
Well, he has my laptop. He took it as
You owe
collateral.
him $269 for the fuel pump. Goodbye. Thank you.
These are excused and they step out.
17 Love says fellow schoolmate, 17-year-old Alex Kinsel, damaged her car when he jumped through the sunroof. Tiffany says Alex was attempting to assault her boyfriend.
Are you Miss Janikowski?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is your son,
Yes.
whose name is
Alex Kinsel?
Alex?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Good. Did you give him a good poke?
Yes, I did.
Perfect. I saw that. It was subtle, but he got it. I'm impressed. Alex,
Yes, ma'am.
I do want you to understand that this is going to be an unpleasant morning for you.
Okay.
Your mother is aware of that, but I'm sure that lately you've had a couple of unpleasant moments with your mother, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You weren't there,
No, ma'am.
and you weren't there.
No, ma'am.
So why don't you have a seat? You're just the question really of liability, and in your case, a question of ownership of the car that was allegedly damaged by Alex
Yes, ma'am.
when he decided to assault your boyfriend,
Yes, ma'am.
this young man, I assume.
Yes.
The only problem was your boyfriend was sitting in your car,
Yes.
and your car had a sunroof. So Alex, in order to get to,
Tyler.
climbed up on
I jumped into the sunroof. I didn't climb.
jumped from the pavement
Yes.
into the sunroof,
Yes, ma'am.
sort of like Spider-Man, faster than a speeding bullet, right? Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Kind of mixing out
Yes.
heroes, but that's it.
That's actually one of them,
Yeah,
Superman,
yeah.
Spider-Man. So you were able to do that, right?
Yes, ma'am. When you're mad and the adrenaline's rushing, sometimes you do things you don't expect you can do.
So now you want him to pay for the damage that he allegedly caused to your car, right? Alex says through his mother that he's very sorry for assaulting Tyler which he freely admitted in juvenile court, and he was placed on probation.
Yes.
So he's paying for that crime, and he's sorry he did that, but he didn't damage the car
No, ma'am.
because, like Superman, he was able to bound from the sidewalk through the sunroof to get to Tyler without ever touching the car. Right? So now, Alex, what? What?
Picturing it.
I want you to, I tried to draw a word picture to you to get you interested in what's going on.
Very interesting.
Good. So, why don't you tell me why you decided to assault Tyler?
Almost a year ago, my friend Kevin was killed, Kevin Farrell. And it was due to the fact that Tyler had robbed someone and placed the blame on Kevin.
A year before this happened,
Yes, ma'am.
who killed your friend?
Lee.
Was he murder?
He was apprehended and he got criminal confinement. It's right now, I believe.
Or was he convicted
Of criminal confinement.
of
They-
criminal confinement? What is criminal confinement? I never heard of that.
When they hold them against their will in a car with weapons.
You know these people?
Unfortunately, yes.
Aren't they all these gang people?
No.
Just criminals.
Yes.
Oh, you're terrific. Okay, so according to you, he's responsible for your friend's murder.
If it wasn't for him, my friend would still be alive right here now.
Okay, so that's why you were angry with him.
Yes.
To him?
That's one of the reasons. They also provoked me
How did they provoke you?
by flicking me off, saying stuff, parking right next to my car the day it happened.
You mean the day that this assault happened?
Yes.
So they parked next to your car. She parked next to your car?
Yes. And she told me that Tyler had hit her that day, and that angered me as well. And he's supposed to be out of school 10 minutes earlier than all the other students, so he's actually trespassing
Step up here. Why is he supposed to be out 10 minutes earlier?
because there's so many people after him for the reason what he did.
You have a special schedule at school, Tyler?
Yes, ma'am. I leave 10 minutes early at the end of the day, and I come 10 minutes late every morning.
And he did not do that. So if he
So
would
for all of those reasons, you decided that you were going to assault him.
yes.
Ma'am, a couple of weeks earlier, he had spit in my face at school also before all this had happened and
Did you
got
do
in
that?
trouble.
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
It's his fault my friend's dead.
No.
Okay, so if you assaulted him a week or two before, why are you complaining about being flipped off?
It just angers me.
Are you seeing a psychiatrist? Do you think you should?
No, ma'am.
You should. He should be seeing a psychiatrist regularly. You understand that? You don't believe that? Step up with him, please. He should be in therapy.
I
Intensive
don't believe
therapy.
so, because once a person's been harassed off and on, a human being can only take so much.
Listen
and
to
he
me.
was at his
Listen
breaking
to me.
point.
Did you know that he spit in his face 2 weeks before?
No, I did not.
You see, somebody who's being harassed is usually frightened. So they stay away from the people who are harassing them or threatening them. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
But when they go to the same
Okay,
high school,
he is the aggressor. When he assaults him, he becomes the aggressor.
I understand.
And that has nothing to do with harassment. He told me that he spit at him 2 weeks before because he believes he's responsible for his friend's murder. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. But Tyler had also off and on since the incident has been harassing Alex.
Listen to me. I'm giving you a friendly word of advice from someone who has been in the juvenile justice system now for almost 30 years.
I know that.
If you don't get him involved in therapy, you're going to be visiting him every other Sunday, and you're going to have to go through a metal detector to do it. I want you to trust me on this. And if you don't, when you look back at your portfolio of photographs of this time in his life, 20 years from now, you're going to say, you know, wouldn't have hurt
No,
if I had him talk to somebody and get out all this anger.
Yes, ma'am.
Because his anger has to do with some event that happened a year ago that he hasn't been able to get over. Can I see pictures of the car, please? I see a lot of damage to this car, Alex.
Yes.
Damage to this car that would suggest to me that you were not able to leap over and get onto the sunroof as you indicated you did.
Your Honor, I did not damage the car of a witness that was right there and saw the whole thing.
I'm prepared to hear the witness. You may have a seat. Step up.
And she had also...
Tell me your name.
Vicky Nofel.
Ms. Knofel, this happened at the school. What were you doing at the
I was
school?
picking up my daughter after school. My car was parked in front of the car that it involved in
And
the
tell me
incident.
exactly what you saw.
He didn't actually climb on the car. He held onto where the door is and was in the sunroof. There was no hitting, kicking of the vehicle, and there had been damage to the car before. It
How
was,
do you know that, my dear?
well, my daughter goes to that school also,
Yes.
and Tiffany had stated to her that she had hit a deer and it had damaged the side of her car.
These are footprints. Deer don't have feet. And I cannot imagine, madam.
I understand.
I cannot imagine the kind of assault that he pled guilty to occurred without his feet touching the car if he's in the sunroof. Could you imagine that? It just doesn't make sense. It defies credulity that he can assault somebody with his fists while poised on top of a car, unless this is a toy car. Is it a toy car?
No.
Without his feet hitting the car. You understand that?
I understand.
Good. Now you can sit down.
Excuse me, Judge Judy.
Yes.
We do have a police report, and there's no mention of any damages in the police report.
I'd like to see the police report. This only has to do with the damage to this young man.
Well, I assume that it should have been in there.
No, it does refer to another number that you didn't get. Can I see an estimate, please, on the car? What year car is this?
A 97
97 what?
Toyota Avalon.
Did you have it fixed?
We don't have the money to fix it.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes.
In court on March 26, 2005, with the juvenile hearing for the attack, Mrs. Borloff was asked if she had any estimates for the damages, and she had said no, she did not, that she just had the car fixed, and she wanted to be reimbursed.